But you know, it's crazy. The suit is Jada. So this is the Ethiopian suit that made it. Yeah, yeah. That's you know this you know he book or something.
No, he's on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. This is on TikTok. He actually made this. He make a few things.
It was the Mardi Gras.
Wow. Okay. That's nice. You got this displayed here.
So remember, y'all. How y'all doing, man? Now, remember, let's get right here. Now, remember, y'all, when we talk about slavery, they always talk about the 1600s. But as you notice, the more museums you visit, you're going to always see this date. You're going to always start with the 1800s. But if you start slavery in the 1600s, you miss history. But they're always showing you events of what? The 1800s. So just pay attention to dates and how they slip. You believe the things you was told. So again, you see it again, slave ship in 1840, not the 1600s. A slave ship in 1840, y'all. My bad, y'all. I do got no flash, y'all. No flash. 840. 1840. So sometimes y'all you know, ride now again, this is the beginning of the museum. This is the beginning of the museum. You know where it started, y'all? You don't see no 1600. You know?
Are you taking pictures of them separately?
Huh?
You taking pictures of them separately?
I'm not taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
I got my live.
Oh, live.
So again, what we here to focus on. Again, we're here to focus on East African slave trade. So here's another Charleston Carrier, 1805. Hatred and violence here, 1861. When you go to these museums and the stuff that was told,
International.
also right about the slave Charleston Carrier.
Nice little floor plan.
You know, somebody was imported. Nah, and somebody was imported. Cause they do got the writings on here, y'all. Yeah, they don't have no. We looking at they got in the names or something like. If we could find some kind of African name, could we find Angola Negroes? I see that one right there for sale. Y'all see Angola? Sugar and coffee. You see that sugar and coffee? Imperial gunpowder, tea. I can't see the writing though, y'all.
It's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard. It says most Africans became captive through warfare, while others were captured in raids. African traders were typically of competing societies for kingdoms. So you see, y'all, a lot was going on. You know, you had a lot of war among our own people, you know, which caused slavery.
Trying to think of an outline over here.
Transatlantic. And see, the transatlantic is the transportation of slaves. It all slave is transatlantic. This don't let this the transatlantic slave trade. Every slave trade is the transatlantic. When you're dealing with America. Now again, when slaves went to other places, they might not travel the Atlantic Ocean. You know, but the transatlantic slave trade is what? You know, it's all slavery. That's why they give you this big number. You know.
Slave owner, I'll probably post this in YouTube.
Look how they got that. Look how they got the voyage of Africa to America, y'all. They got that hella close. Like South America and Africa is like,
That's
you know,
far enough, yeah. That far.
well, that's a lot of water in between here, though. It's a lot of water, but the way they got it, you know, is real, real close. And you know they say it's a puzzle that go right there. So that could be like a big, big river, a huge river, because you know the way they got it, that go right there. Ain't no doubt about it. This hook goes right here. So again, we dealing with the slavery in Charleston. Again, you see these dates, y'all. You see the 1800s. You know, you see the 1800s, y'all. It's no, you can't run from that. You can't run that slavery did not take place in the 1600s. That's why the East African slave trade is so important. The East African slave trade is so important, y'all. It's so important, man. Now, the ordinance of lost lives, you know. It says in the 1600s, enslaved Africans and African descent primarily arrived in Carolina from the Caribbean. By the 1700s, more was sent directly to Charleston from ports in West. That's almost how Charleston look right now.
Was that the?
Nah, we didn't go in there. Now remember, y'all, we are here for the what? We are here for the East African slave trade. Don't forget that. And why did you think they was renaming people? And they was mostly renaming kids so they could what? So they couldn't trace where they came from. Not knowing where you came from has always been a part. You know, now again, when you deal with the when you deal with the Atlantic slave trade, this is something they always have what? They've been renaming us so we won't know where we come from. Names back then let you know where you was from. But this is why what? Slaveholders often rename captives and did not record their original names. This was a what? So now when someone tell you where you come from, all you could do is believe them. Because when your ancestors got here, they didn't have the names they had in Africa. This is important, y'all. This stuff got us what? Fighting with people saying, when we say we from East Africa, no, y'all from West Africa. You know, and all this is division, y'all. I just want to catch that.
Collect the money, children couldn't spend money on iPhone. In fact,
And you see how they started, right? It's a reason why this is a narrative, y'all. You see this narrative? West Africa. You know, enslaved people from West Africa. You know, it's a reason why they say that. That means no East African was ever enslaved. That's what they saying. They didn't get East Africans. That's a lie. So what they really want to hide, we're not saying West Africans didn't go into slavery too, but why they never mention East? It's a reason why. And that's why we're here. We are here to uncover the East African slave trade. Because most of these things gonna say West. And that's what? That's to hide the truth. You know, and this is why they changed the names. This is why they got rid of the names, because they was wanting to hide where they was taking people from.
So I guess we had time to give the story to rice and various kinds of environment where rice was grown. People in the Rio region and going up to the going down.
Passage departure. Right here. I don't know if you even. Must be right here. Okay, one. Must be right here. I think we go down right here. At the, what is it? International. Oh no, this ain't it either. Or you go down the front. Why they got it? They should have it like a map on the ground where you can walk through and so you won't miss nothing. Huh?
Just one.
Well, this can't be it. This is it. I think it's just this. You want to ask?
American Journey. American Journey back there.
Let me show y'all something. Y'all. Some nice. You want to ask? Nice artwork right there, y'all. Nice artwork.
culture and the faith that we have.
All right. Thank you, there.
My name is Herb Frazier, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm the former marketing and public relations director.
How is it that we hear the loudest yells for liberty among the drivers of Negroes? We know why.
I think on paper, yes, much more than my great grandfather, like many.
Uprising, uprising. Hmm? need to find out what East. What it was, cotton. Cotton textile. Oh, you can't touch it though. I forgot you can't touch. Well, cotton textile, Carolina.
When I see that, you know, we have looks that we give each other that we just know. It doesn't matter if it's just me and one other black woman in the room. If we look at each other, we see.
Excuse me.
Greenville, South Carolina, and I am a park ranger with the National Park Service.
What?
It just caught my eye. That's one thing that most people don't understand. Like everything else, it was illegally done by humanitarian rights and presence. There were a lot of things that people dropped the ball on.
That's why they was hiding.
That's another thing that we don't really look at. We just think in our mind it happened, but it was illegally done to people that
My name is Dr. Butler, and I am the executive director of the That's kind of response that
were against all humanitarian rights that government.
Bernard Powers, Director of the Center for the Study of Slavery and Colonization.
What God you is doing, it gives us a moment to stand on it. Right now, a lot of people are accountable and responsible. There are a lot of the injustices that happen to us.
I wonder, can you find out where the East African stuff at? Oh, this is what you could. You're supposed to be able to touch one of this. You could touch one of these and find your identity.
Really?
See where you come from. Let's see. How to genealogy. They got genealogy. You getting this?
Yes, sir.
Begin. Continue. Type in first name. CRDELL. I see my name, Cardell Johnson. The city. I'm from Baton Rouge, y'all. I'm from Baton Rouge. Let's see what they gonna give me, y'all. East Baton Rouge, United States, birth year. I was born in 1986. Y'all wanna look me up? 1986. And what do I do now? So I put in everything. Cardell Johnson, Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana, 1986. So it says your ancestor record belong to a collection of similar documents. Martinez Baptist, for example. Oh, that's why I hit search. All right, y'all. Let's see. Cardell Johnson. I'm not Clarence. That's not me. What do I find? My name?
I think so. I think that's what you have to find and identify who you are and all the Cordell Johnsons of the world that y'all keep on trying to make it seem like y'all Jews the only one in the world that has this name.
Damn.
Damn, that's that many. I told you there's a lot.
Search by. I'm male. Race. That should go down right there, huh? Yeah, hold on. So that's what I'm saying. What they asking me? Events and relationships.
Yeah, obviously there's a whole bunch of people there. If it's not your events and what is linked to you, then obviously you're not that person.
But okay, I looked up. It says, "Oh, do I add my ancestor right here, or do I put my name right here?"
You add ancestors information. You gotta put your people's information.
Let's go back, man. Let's go back.
Damn, we got to know some of your people's information? Oh, that's going to be a little...
They know we don't. We didn't ask them all these things.
Let's go back. Okay. Records, names, last name.
Yeah, that would be your name there.
12 for your ancestors and can lead.
So I'm not typing in my name. I type in my ancestor's name. I'm gonna put James. Shit, that's my dad. James. How you spell Duval? Shit, I don't know how to spell my dad's last name. I ain't got no address. He from Mississippi. Birth. Mississippi. Shit, my dad was adopted anyway, so this shit like that, man, you won't know, man. I ain't messing with it, y'all. I don't know. I ain't messing with it, man. I thought it was a little simpler than that.
Some kind of phone thing.
Yeah. Guess I tell you. I thought it was a little simpler than that.
Please scan
But
for your speaking truth.
so they had some little setup in here where you kind of research and find your history. But all right.
It's these little tablets set up there.
Oh, okay. That's what this is. You kind of get your all right, y'all. We back on the. I want to know what they specifically talk about it at. We gonna have to ask somebody. We're gonna ask somebody what they specifically talk about the East African slave trade. Because we haven't really seen too much. It's a nice piece of artwork right there, y'all. It's a nice piece of artwork right there. But like I say, y'all, we here for one particular reason, y'all. You know, we here for one particular reason. You know. It was just mighty funny how out of all African nations in military, the black people wanted to go help Ethiopia. Is there any other African country you want to go help fight? Other than Ethiopia? Is there any other country? Somebody talk to me, y'all. The Black Star Line with Marcus Garvey. See, I don't think a lot of people overlook Marcus Garvey movement. You know, you got a Black Star Line, right, to get us back to East Africa. I think a lot of people overlook Marcus Garvey movement because we talk about it, but why was Marcus Garvey going back to East Africa? What was in East Africa? But now we have all these Garvey movements, but you never hear East Africa. You know, but you see Marcus Garvey, you see the Black Star Line, again, was to get us from America so we could start our own economic freedom in Africa. And now what, 100 years later, we still in the same boat, ain't we?
Yes, sir.
We still in the same boat. So the real Pan-African movement was a movement to get us back to East Africa to what? Reshape Africa. You know, a lot of people overlook that. And look when this was, y'all. 1918. Y'all overlook Marcus Garvey. 1918. It wasn't no Nation of Islam. It wasn't no Moorish Science Temple. It wasn't no Christian churches on every corner. It wasn't 1 million black pastors. You know, so this stuff, y'all, we pay attention to when you talk about Marcus Garvey movement. Marcus Garvey movement was very important. It was before we was infiltrated with a lot of these movements that's not doing us no good. Babe, did you find out about East Africa?
Oh, I thought this is where it was.
No.
I went back to the Atlantic just to see. I found nothing.
You're gonna have to ask somebody. We're gonna have to ask somebody. I want to do they even talk about him going back to East Africa?
They got the scramble for Africa over here. But it's not they don't talk about it.
Now, look at the Great Migration. Now, y'all, you can't hold us down that long. Why did the migration start in 1910? Of us leaving the South. You think it took us that long? You think it took us this long? If we was here since 1600s, it took us 300 years to leave the South. This is why we have no fight in us. It didn't take us that long, y'all, to start leaving. So 90% of black people was well in the rural South. And then you had a great migration where we began to leave the South, which was in the 1900s, because a lot of us was just coming here in the 1800s. These are the facts that mess up history. And y'all, 100 years is a long time, man. I don't think y'all overlook. 100 years is a long time, especially for you to keep up with information. We barely keep up with information. We got TV, computers, and phones. You know, so again, our migration, y'all, when we start packing up America, shit, 1910, when most people great grandmother was born. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't know nobody in your great grandmother time. You probably just know, I know my great grandmother. That's it. You don't know your great uncle. You don't know your great cousin. You don't know none of them. You just know your great grandmother. You know, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about most people. It's very few people that can go back to their great grandmother. You know, and let alone know what's really going on. What
Talk about the Pan-African Conference, and he said all points of British Empire, United States, America, Abyssinia, Liberia, and Haiti. The conference organized.
Mm-hmm.
like Committee of African.
Now, see this Abyssinia right here, y'all? If you didn't know, this Abyssinia is Ethiopia. You know, so why it's no longer called Abyssinia no more? You know, because that's when you get the connecting historical things. So you got a Pan-African Conference, you know, in 1900s, and you had the British Empire, which is other nations. You had the United States of America, Abyssinia, liberal, and what is that?
Hayati.
Now, why are you putting Abyssinia here if slavery is so connected to West Africa?
I want to say that's Haiti, but they call it Hayati.
That's Haiti?
I think it's Haiti, but
Oh, Haiti. You see what I'm saying? So, liberal is what? That's in Africa, right?
Yeah, Libya.
Libya. That's
Well, Liberia. That's what I'm saying. It's
where's
like
that? Where's that? Liberia? Where's that?
that's
That's
We'll
Africa.
find out. I know, but what side? That's east.
I think it's
No,
That's
that's
west?
west. Yeah, that's where I think Libya is in the west.
So, but why do you have Abyssinia if Abyssinia
West.
has nothing to do with what? With the slave trade. But East Africa has everything to do with the slave trade, because why would you have a Pan-African movement would consider what? Abyssinia. If it was all West Africa, you have all West African names here. But the first name you get when you come from Africa is what? What we call today Ethiopia, but they called it Abyssinia. And when you do the Moors history, they trace their roots back to Abyssinia.
Did you see this? This talk about the World War I and II. It says,
They actually put Abyssinia out there.
Now, this is where they talk about the scramble for Africa. You know, now, King Leopold in 1885, they was just getting Africa. They was scrambling for Africa in 1885, but yet they was taking us in the 1600s, y'all. They just was scrambling in the 1885, y'all, to get Africa. They go your 1800s. And this is Central, y'all. This is not West. Why would he be in Central Africa? You know, to get people from the East to the West. Look at these people. Ugandans, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia.
Chopping off hands just because. You know what France
Oh, I like
did
this.
in Congo,
Oh, Middle East.
what the Italians did all over Africa is what would make what we gone through here in Africa like we, went on a vacation. Some of this stuff,
Oh, look.
man,
Now look, the crazy thing about it. Only Libya and Ethiopia remain independent. Now, remaining independent don't mean you are not colonized, because the colonizers can set up the one that's running the country. See, when you really do the history, the colonizers set up certain people. The last, after Haile Selassie, the man that was put in office, America helped him get in office. But that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. But again, this is how they try to, the only people that remained independent was Ethiopia and Liberia. But it tell you about what? If you go before, when they go over here, what that was we'll read. That's a hell of a connection, y'all. That goes to show you Ethiopia was involved in the slave trade. So
talks a little bit about the East African, but it doesn't
Where?
like for World War One, World War Two. I'm telling you, he said to ask the woman in front,
Okay.
but he said the people that really know they're not here today. So, I might go ask them.
It says the United States had the largest number of black soldiers in the war. Okay, European forced some 375 African soldiers to join military campaigns in the Middle East, North and East Africa. Where's West Africa?
What?
Where's West Africa, y'all?
What?
Why they ain't have no campaign in West Africa? Because when you deal with the European nations, East Africa was their main place. And again, if you don't understand this, you're not gonna understand slavery. This is why we got people running around saying slavery didn't exist, because we don't know how to connect it. You know, but the campaigns were set up in the Middle East, North and East Africa, y'all. World War II. A lot of people don't know World War II was about East Africa. What European nation was gonna gain East Africa, not West? I don't know how more important these facts are, man, to really understand the slavery history. If you don't include East Africa when you talk slavery, you're gonna miss the whole picture. And that's why the picture is never clear. And there's a reason why African Americans want to help Ethiopia. The details are there. Our eyes not open.
Oh shoot, Purple Heart winner. That's a brother. That's a brother.
And when you deal with the Negroes, y'all, our features are more East. East Africa is important, y'all, when it comes to our freedom. The first Pan-African movement.
Look at them. They look like goddamn Ethiopians.
The first Pan-African movement was to go back to Ethiopia, not West Africa. There's a reason why, y'all.
Look like
So-
the Ethiopians to me, don't it?
We've been getting further and further away from the truth. Let's come back. The star line is back, y'all. We gotta find out where they talk about the East African, man. Cause that's what we're here for, y'all. We here to discuss the East African slave trade, man. That's what we're here to discuss, nothing else. You know, we're not here to talk about slavery. We all know what happened in slavery. You know, we got a lot of misconstrued facts about slavery, but we're here to uncover the East African slave trade.
We got some water in the car.
Some water? We gotta get some. They got a cafe upstairs. No, I think Kate went to go. Hold on, why we went upstairs? We going.
You came in here, right?
I did.
Huh? Yeah. Just keep on going around and you'll run right into the cafe.
All you see is West Africa, West Africa, West Africa, West Africa, West Africa.
They don't want you
West
to know
Africa,
it's
West
from
Africa.
you.
Everywhere you go,
Changes
West Africa.
every 6 months.
What?
The museum. So they add different stuff every 6 months.
Hey, that's what East Africa is.
Hey, brother.
Where they talk about East African slave trade.
Know the entrance. Yeah, it's on the other side.
Hey, Jay. Other side. He said it's on
Other
the other side.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Let me give you one.
Interested yesterday. Yes, sir.
The only thing we could have did was overlook it. Excuse me.
Louisiana. That's our state.
Nah,
What's that?
we're a boot.
That's it.
Everything you see. Oh, this is a cafe? Oh, no. It's the cafe right now. Excuse me. Excuse me. We had to miss it, y'all. I think it was over here.
The amount of earth that enslaved people moved. What we know thus far is that there were about 7
What's up? What's up? Excuse, I'm sorry. Let y'all see these swords. Oh, y'all look. Look. I ain't even show y'all where this sword from. Y'all see that sword? You see the Ethiopian cross? Y'all see the Ethiopian cross? Y'all see that? Y'all see the Ethiopian cross? You see it, right? You gotta see the Ethiopian cross. It's another cross on here. And then you got the hammer. The Spartans. But I want to see what y'all catch it. Come over here and look at this. You gotta turn to you, man. Yeah.
Turn it.
Look at that. See, do you see that? What that is on the edge right there.
Cross.
But what kind of cross? What kind of cross that is? You don't see what kind of cross it is? What kind of art that is? That's Ethiopian art. Now, what is the Ethiopian sword? Well, that's like, you know, that's not a regular, you know, that's not an Ethiopian cross here. You look at all the ancient, you know, it's got that little curve on it.
Oh, it goes like
Yes. If you look at the Ethiopian cross.
That's true. Yes. And this right here.
They should have destroyed the
Initials on it.
Oh, I thought K-Mom was gonna ask somebody. You seen them?
You guys more than the people too. They said they would be over here.
Here in the United States that have most of their Africans still intact.
Did you read anything about this government?
Not too much.
Go out toward the lobby, and it's another side. That's what the guard said.
That's what this side right here.
This is that was the lobby
Yeah,
over
this
there?
is the side. That's the lobby. Yeah, we came over here. Let's came out and went to a different spot. Call her phone. Call, okay, money. Oh, you got this side over here. And we ain't go to this side. Where she at? Hello, where you at? Yeah, where you at?
Huh?
Where you at?
I'm all the way at the back. You know where y'all was just at? I'm putting in my name into the
Oh yeah, we did it already. Trying to find it.
did anything show up?
You gotta put in your ancestors.
There's one with the family tree here. They don't,
But you don't put in your name. You put in your ancestor name. That's what I had to do. That's why I didn't do it. So, but
do
you
you have anything East African?
that's why I was asking. Did you ask somebody?
Yeah, I asked them. They said that they didn't know. They didn't see it. They weren't told nothing about it.
They weren't told nothing about it.
They said that they could have an exhibit on their website, and it's not in the museum. So I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. But
I'm gonna tell Ed to look it up.
huh?
I'm gonna tell Ed to look it up. All right.
Right back.
Okay.
Hey, look up where is it in the international where it talks about East African slave trade.
In here?
Yeah.
They'll take your money, but they don't want you in there.
Let's go back and find Dan before we lose him.
You see that right around the corner? Oh, look at that. Well, it says Nigeria.
What?
Is Nigeria and Ethiopia are kind of close?
I wouldn't say that. But you know who to say?
And that one back there, it said Nigeria on it, but it looked Ethiopian to me.
Who to say? On where at? Back here?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was down.
It's a way for them to actually keep us thrown off. They were never colonized for one. They ain't gonna never question that.
They're not displaying it this month.
Yeah, they
Like the dude said they exchange it every once in a while.
They change it up.
Yeah, so if they do, they don't make it, like you can see it all the time.
That's bull crap. I'm finna make sure. I think if somebody ever, cause ain't nobody gonna come here and talk about it. You know, we'll probably be the only ones right now.
Yep, you're probably the only one. You're probably gonna do this. All American film is all from West Indies or West Africa.
No, click, let me see.
These fucking dates here.
Where in the International African Museum in South Carolina I could find the East African slave trade? Where in the International African American Museum I can find the East African slave trade? This is it. if you can go on the website and look for it or something. Okay. This is it right here. Let's see. Let me see. The International African American Museum. If you can go right here. Okay, explore museum. The guy be right here. The Atlantic World. Yeah. It's gonna have to be right here, the Atlantic World. That's the only place I can see them putting it. We gonna get it. That's what I. This is where it would be at right here. Yeah. Now, hold up, y'all. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. For centuries, including the Victorian era, Queen who?
Victoria.
Of the 1800s into the 1900s, the concept of women traveling the world alone, the controversial examples. Victorian era. That's the era of history, man. Okay. So this would have to Sierra Leone. Now, again, this is the Atlantic Ocean, y'all. So any slave that would come from Africa to the West had to go what? Through the transatlantic. It's impossible. There's no other way around it. So the transatlantic overview of the transatlantic slave trade is from 1501 to 1867. But again, they leave out East Africa. This is what we came here for. Nobody came from over here, but the world wars was about East Africa. Come on, y'all, we gotta do better. So we gonna see if they slip it in there.
Don't forget about Queen Nanny.
Queen Nanny, who was that?
Well, she was a revolutionary that fought in the war. She fended off a lot of. Actually, we have a little clip I'll be playing on my live about Queen Nanny. This is about the Maroons over here.
This is where the only way it would be at. So I'm gonna scan the wall.
Queen Nanny had her own. She got her own money too. You know, they said she used to catch bullets and throw it back at soldiers. This
know
is
about
how
that one,
bad
though.
she was. She used to catch the bullets and throw it back at soldiers.
Maybe I talked to you in the front. She said that they have exhibits on their website because, you know, hiring them, they take them around the whole museum and whatever. But they never mention this out.
Why they got it on their website?
Them saying they can have like an exhibit on their website, but not in the museum. But I'm gonna look it up.
It's everything. If anybody is not aware.
You know what? They don't talk about cotton at all.
They had one thing over there about it was small.
Now, you know what? Picture that Queen Victoria had painted, you know, of that man that time. When Queen Victoria had him bow down and give him the Bible. That's that picture. That Jeff Rosen show. That's the same picture. But they said, look, now if cotton was in East Africa, right? The painting is one of the earliest deceptions of an African in European art. Though the identity of his subject is still a mystery, his clothing and accessories, including leather gloves, a finely crafted sword, and gem-studded bag, convey his high station. His facial expression and posture excluded confidence.
So it was high up. He's
It's
high,
not about
high
the
up.
African leaders,
Yeah, head on
but they
straight.
don't tell you which leaders.
They make it look like she's African queen.
Yeah, they just reference them, but they don't reference their status and what they really are. It's like it's a mystery. You know.
You see, they made a distinction between her color and their color.
Look at that. Now, how can they say liberal was founded? Well, if you really want liberal in Ethiopia, because they don't talk about Abyssinia, but it say liberal was founded in West Africa by the American Colonization Society in 1822. Near 15,000 black Americans migrated there. That's why they went to live with that migration. Oh, okay. Well, the colony was hampered by limited financial support, tensions of local Africans, and high moral rates. Liberia became an independent nation in 1847.
I was thinking how much they came back on sponsor about the black abolishers.
Well, they keep that East African slave trade out of here for a purpose, don't they? They don't want to tell nothing about the East African slave trade.
That's crazy.
I wanted to ask them if they seen anything on Tennessee.
No, they don't say nothing about that. They don't say nothing about that. Dr. Walter Ratton, he used to go to Tanzania. He has a foundation set up in Tanzania.
Who?
Dr. Walter Ratton, the one I told you about the revolution where they assassinated him in the 80s.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, like I said, he's like, god dang. He was really pulling for it. He knew he had some personal damage that he knew about the sacrifice. He knew it. He knew what was going to happen.
We ain't getting no East Africa, huh?
Stories and wisdom of generations. Unique scripts were also created. 14th century manuscripts from the libraries at Timbuktu show adoption of Arabic scripts.
Everything West Africa.
Poetry, history,
West Africa.
theology, law, and
West Africa.
numerology. 15th century scholars of Timbuktu studied astronomy and knew about the rotation of the planets, details of the eclipse, and more. The Dogon of Mali had knowledge of astronomy dating back to 3200 BC, which included awareness that the star Sirius
What is it? Hey,
around the largest star Sirius A every 50 years.
look up who these people are. The Congolese people. What? Look up them people. The Congolese.
Long before colonialism, Africans had a highly advanced understanding of medicine. Practices include the use of plants, medical procedures, and surgeries.
The Congo is home to no.
The most long-lasting
No, I was saying who these people were right here. They call them the Congolese.
physical, mental, and social well-being of a person.
Oh.
The circular or holistic approach to
They came from Congo.
is still relevant in the
That's
lives of
okay.
See, the indigenous of Congo.
Bantu,
lasting
Ringa,
influences can be seen in civic practices throughout the diaspora.
Oil.
There's something here, but it says it's the 1400s. The Western empires of the West century, sub-Saharan Africa for hosted extensive languages. East Africa hosts South
For many African nations,
What's saying? But they don't say we come from the Congo. They say we come from West Africa.
Always.
Oh, this is, oh, right here. Well, it touches, this is, I told you, that one little dog
This is
that
Congo, Angola.
The interconnection between the living and the dead
There you go, right
is a
here.
universal cosmos that makes
That's the
all
only thing that says it's
existence sacred.
Reach the East African coast.
This Sudan.
Science, medicine, cosmology,
Most woven outfits and tunics were inspired by,
our original spiritual
created in groups in male function weavers. So can we look up this word? Come look up this word.
The Felicia?
Yeah, Falena weavers. Cause you know the weavers was the people that dealt with cotton.
Dogon of Mali honor deities and ancestors through rituals, sacrifices, and rites of passage.
You know what I'm saying? The Fulani people.
Nice, bro.
Okay, you looking okay? But that look like Ethiopian art right there. You know, Ethiopian art is with a cross. Now the black throw it off.
is considered Muslim. That's who they are. They have
Yeah, they
Muslim
said
descent.
West Africa, Sarah,
The circle dance that connects all
They
West
cattle,
Africa,
herd
and
cattle,
northern parts of Central.
nomadic lifestyle.
The sea coast in Sudan, so it's connected to Sudan.
But how they connected to Sudan? Sudan is east.
It just says regions there. It won't really tell you exactly
See
where.
what I'm saying?
It's just
They just don't want you to put your finger on the East Coast at all. They want you to stay out of here as much as they can.
precious
As soon as you start putting your nose on the East,
West Central Africa.
1400 empires of West Central Africa was centered in the sub-Saharan Africa, but boosted intention trade networks that reach East Africa and the coast of South Asia. Four empires dominated the Congo, Angola, Mali,
and mark the natural cycles of existence.
but see when you deal with the Portuguese was what? In the East, right? When the Portuguese in the East?
Activities and ceremonies. The sophisticated designs allow weavers to put their skills on display.
it's the only thing that even mentioned is
Scarf
That's my first time seeing since I've been in them.
symbolize
the only
beauty or
fact that
strength.
even mentioned.
They can also identify family background, social status, spirituality,
And I'm trying to
community, and marital status.
They don't even look. Look at this. They don't even mention East Africa. Like look at East Africa. You know,
They let you touch it on the screen.
you can't even go over there. They just got it blocked out. Like it don't exist.
Yeah, like it don't exist.
It don't exist.
Quality, artistry,
No matter how far you go to 1900, you go to 2000. East Africa does not exist.
particularly important because it symbolized knowledge, good judgment, and character. Blacksmiths have shaped African culture since at least 500 BC, forging spiritual objects, instruments,
Now
tools, and weapons that allowed
it says Ethiopia is the oldest Christian nation, but Africans who practice Islam and Christianity is from West. If you look up the oldest African Christian nation, you're gonna get East Africa. You know, you're not gonna get no West Africa. But everything is West. But you're dealing with what? West and West Central Africans historically practice a variety of spiritual traditions.
rings within rings for everything from building details to city layouts. There are more than 2,000 traditional or heart languages spoken in Africa. Most of them were not written until the modern era, resulting in rich oral and musical traditions that have been used to pass on stories and wisdom
Look,
for generations.
now, this supposed to be an Islam
Scripts were also created.
transcript.
14th
Right.
century manuscripts from the libraries at
But-
Timbuktu
home to dozens of libraries with thousands of books. The Timbuk, West Africa, was a major site of Islamic scholars and the hub for the production and distribution of books in medieval era. Manuscripts like this one concerning Islam law reflects the importance and the prevalence of the legacy among Islamic society. So they have Islamic in the East.
The Dogon of Mali had knowledge of astronomy dating back to 3200 BC, which included awareness that the star Sirius B.
Yo, this West Africa stuff, man, is really, you see how the effect of West Africa has really misunderstood. You know, it's really misunderstood.
Long before colonialism, Africans had a highly advanced understanding of medicine. Practices include the use of plants, medical procedures, and surgeries.
They don't want to mention though. He said now they'll hint around East Africa, but they don't put you there at all.
Methods of treating the complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
They got the Rubicon and all that over here.
The circular holistic approach to wellness is still relative of West African communities, and lasting influences can be seen in descendant practices throughout the diaspora.
You know, we gotta go to that market though. We can find.
Yeah, we can always come back to it.
Burkina Faso? No, Burkina Faso. But everything we seen, y'all said West Africa, man. That goes to show you, y'all. You know.
Inspired by the rhythmic movement of the sun, the turn of the seasons, and the cycle of life. The interconnection between the living and the dead is a universal cosmos that makes no distinction between the sacred and the secular.
But they really have no.
From science, medicine, cosmology,
Now, this right here, in that white,
diviners are ritual spiritualists who skillfully read
in that white right there, y'all.
the realm of the divinities.
Well, y'all, we gon' see. We would have came yesterday. It probably would have had more people who really, who knew. They're gonna make us look through everything. Y'all, we walk, we look. This is what I thought it would have, man. How much juice I got on that phone? It's about to go dead. 47%. Okay. So we're gonna go outside now, y'all, man. We look, we search. You know, we seen a little bit, but they really is hiding. And from the from the website, they was as if you was gonna come in here. They had me psyched up. I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I was psyched up. I was gonna say what? That's why we drove 4 hours just to see how psyched up it was. Right? How really psyched up it was. No, nothing vegan over there. No, we asked everybody we could.
I know we have.
I don't know if there's anybody else. I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh, let me use the restroom.
Excuse y'all. digital exhibits. So they got digital exhibits on their website, I guess. Trying to see it. But do you guys know anybody that knows everything about the exhibit that's here though? Or they're not here.
They're usually not here. They're on this track. But
I was in contact with so I can like I'll email them and okay. Thank you.
My brother give you a we gotta keep our band on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it say?
She gave me a card of somebody I could email.
Oh. You got my charger?
Yeah, I grew up like 5-10 minutes down the road.
Well, y'all, like I say, man, they had me psyched up, y'all. Had me psyched up. I had that in the back of my mind too. When you said that, I like, damn, I wonder if they,
Yeah, you never know.
you know. But to put it on their website like that, because, like I say, when we mention East Africa, and we mention the slave trade, and we mention how Black Americans can be from, or I would better say the African diaspora has been really, I would say, picked upon. It has been forced. So now, that the truth is out, we see how it's documented that you had an East African slave trade, but it's not talked about. Again, that's a part of Victoria's Secret. That's what that's a part of, Victoria's Secret, y'all. To withhold information that reveals, the things that we need, to know. So you can look up right now East African slave trade and you will pull it up. But when you go into these museums that talk about slavery, you don't see it. And if you do see it, it's a hint. It's like one little small hint. But I just want to show them the walkway where a lot of slaves came in.
Oh, okay.
We ain't gonna walk all the way down. We just gonna walk right here and then, cause they got a market we gonna go to. What is Gullah Geechee? He do hand weave bags. It's like a market. So you see this walkway, y'all? We walking down right now. This is, what they say the slaves walk down, y'all. What we walking on right now, man. Where we are planting our feet right now as well. They say the slaves came in. And again, you see they got the monuments right here. Again, we're in South Carolina, Charleston. Right on the coast. Right on the east coast of America, y'all.
Look at that warship out there.
Right on the east coast of America. Oh, you see water? This walkway, y'all. This walkway is where some of us came to America, man. We took our first steps. And like I say, if most people, when you deal with the 1800s, you dealing with your great grandmother. You're not dealing with your great grandmother. You're dealing with your great grandmother. Very few people know their great grandmother. You know, you don't know your great grandmother's sister. You don't know your great grandmother cousin. You don't know none of that. You don't know your great grandma mama. You know, you just know your great grandma. But what about your great grandma who was born in the 1850s? You know, 1890. A lot of people great grandmother was born in 1890. You know, was born in 1890. You know, so you deal was born in 1890. You know, so you deal with your. How many people in the comments know they fourth great grandmother? Put me a 1 in the comments if you know your. And we crazy. We say grandmother. What about the grandfather? Can go back 4 greats. Your great grandmother and your great grandfather. That's the 1800s. That's 4 greats. That's 4 greats, y'all. We can't. You know, you got to understand history, man. You know, you go back 4 great grandmothers and grandfathers, and you in the 1800s. And wasn't nothing called America, wasn't nothing called Ethiopia. Shit, they probably wasn't even calling Africa then. You know. So like I say, y'all, goddamn ladybug. I don't know, that's a CIA ladybug. They bite too. Alright, he flew away when I said that. So I just want to show y'all the walkway, y'all. What they say we walk through, man. A lot of us came through these waters right here, y'all, long ago. Long ago, y'all. Long ago. I don't know, that's a long ago. This is a walkway I just wanted to show y'all. You know. But like I said, y'all, man, 1800s is very important. We overlook them a lot, you know. You know, when you really deal with 1800s, you're dealing with, man, 4 generations. You know, and a lot of us was taken from our parents. A lot of our parents was unalive. A lot of women and children was brought. You know, there's a lot of women and children that was brought here. You know, everybody wasn't grown. You know, everybody didn't have a history book. You know, nobody that came here went to school. You know, so they weren't teaching history courses back then. We get taught history and we still don't know history. So what you think the people over here, they ain't know history? They ain't know nothing about no history. They ain't look at stuff like that. You could say more of an animal. If an animal get taken from Africa right now, the animal ain't gonna tell you, I came from Africa. Shit, he ain't worried about that. He worried about surviving. Worried about where he came from. You know, so this stuff of where we came from, y'all, only it validates us because we have been lied to. You know. So, but like I say, y'all, we finna check out right now, y'all. It's checkout time for the live. Email them. So right now it's checkout time, y'all. So we'll catch y'all next time. We might come back. We're gonna try to send an email out for some more information on the East African slave trade to see if we can get in touch with somebody who knows, because like I said, we walked through, they showed us very few things of the East African slave trade. I'm talking about not even, might have been 1%, a half of 1%. You know, so if we do find some more, we will be touching y'all, but we just gave y'all a tour of the International African Museum. And again, the reason why we came is because it says on their I wouldn't want to say website or online, it says they validated East African slave trade.
I wonder what they was talking about. They didn't send me no email, though. Make sure they send me an email, okay? Or you can send them the email. You got it? Queued up and ready? Okay. They probably sent the email to me, though, already.
Mm-hmm. And Jamie friends.
If they sent it to me already, I sent it. All right, y'all. Some of y'all, if you want this email from me, I got you. I'm going to send it to you later. I don't feel like doing no emails right now, to be honest. Can you open that? You might not be able to. If not, I got another one in the house. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to put that back on my fingernail, actually. I like the little butterfly, but let me keep it out. All right, so let's get back to business. It's about your mentality and your confidence. Like I said, that's my only point. It's about your mentality and your confidence. And, you know, study everything you can study, but make sure you set up your office at the post office. And then you're a mobile minister. There's steps to this stuff. And all you got to do is do every step when you have time. If it costs money, do it when you get a little money. Don't do everything at once. It's some things people going to try to tell you that you need. You're not going to need them. You're not going to need to do it. All right. Just because it worked for somebody else don't mean it's going to work for you. It don't mean it's something that you need to do. Just stop wasting your money. Don't waste your money. The first thing you need to do is status correction. And that is an ongoing process. It's not no one thing you can do. You're going to have, it's a lot of stuff you need to correct. Starting with your post, the main post office with general delivery. Once you do that, you need to go back and change your social security number and just correct everything. You can change your social security number up to 10 times. Yes, your social security number been breached already. If you've been alive before now, yes. Okay. It went from 350 million people being in debt to 1 billion right now. See, look, 1 billion records have been exposed. How? They allowed it. Okay, so once they allowed it, you guys have to correct your status, correct your credit. You should have unlimited credit. Close out all those old accounts and stuff or whatever. Let me mute you, Mustafa. Build credit from this point on without debt. The Bible says to go your way and sin no more. Debt is sin. You're not supposed to be in debt. This is our land. Yes, you can get a new social. You can get 10 in a lifetime. Okay, if you're over the age of 10, you should already have, if you're 40, you should have had 3 to 4 by now. Every 10 years, yes, somebody don't use that shit. You can guarantee it. All right. A surefire way of finding out if somebody else other than you have used that social security number is called indemnification through the state. If you have a court case of any kind, even if you paid the ticket or whatever, it's still open. You're going to close it out using an executive letter. Once you use the executive letter, it's a space on there that it says you want full accounting and indemnification for you. You only need to do 1 executive letter per case that you have open, that you've ever had open. A traffic ticket is a case. Child support is a case. Every single case that they ever sent you a letter for. That's work. You got stuff to do. Yep, you was born into debt, and now you're gonna cut that out. Cut it out. Don't do that for your children. They don't need no birth certificate. They not a dog, a cat, a chicken, a pig. They don't have to be sold on no market. None of that shit. My daughter does not have none of that. She ain't got no birth certificate, no social security card, none of that. For fucking what? Can't nobody prove to me and tell me no good reason why we gotta have it. And now you know you don't have to have one for any reason. You don't have to have it. A birth certificate is for you to work and for you to use. If you're well and able-bodied, why do you need all of that? They can do all of that if you need it. My grandmama was 70-some years old and never had a birth certificate. Never had a social security card. She never needed it. My grandmama was 70-some years old and never had a birth certificate. She never needed it. Told y'all why. She ate out her garden. I don't even remember my grandmama ever going to the fucking grocery store. I can't recall not one time. And I'm not even joking. And I sat here and thought about that on live. I was like, God, that is crazy. I don't even think my grandmama ever went to the grocery store.
That's different. My grandma would go every Saturday.
My grandmama hated the goddamn grocery. My grandma didn't barely go nowhere. She went to the post office on Tuesday,
This
remember?
was not a part of
That
the
was
live
it.
stream, y'all. It's a live stream that came on after the live stream that I was broadcasting.
In church on
Even
Sunday.
though
That's
that
it.
the information she is
Church
sharing
on every Sunday. She ain't never missed church.
to the slave trade, the
I don't give a damn. It wasn't no sick.
numbers and
Well, no, you ain't finna play sick. Your head going to church. I don't care if you sick. It ain't matter. If you was at her house, your head going to church. That's it. It ain't no mop or nothing.
before I end the stream.
Going to Sunday school, yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, you straight up going. The damn church bus coming to get you, and you better be on that mug. But yeah, you see, and that's the thing about us. We moving too fast. We doing so much stuff, and we think we rich, but really you wasting your time and your energy. You're gonna make yourself sick. See, our bodies are designed to do some extraordinary things in short amount of time, in short spaces and stuff, but not long periods of time, not long term. You're not supposed to push your body and work your body long term. You're supposed to get rest for stuff, and then when you need to do something like Superman or Spider-Man, you activate and you go do it. Then you diffuse and you keep your energy. Power up. Then when you need to do something, you have energy. If your ass sick, I'm gonna tell you something, it don't matter how much money your ass got. It don't matter what that car drive like. It don't matter what your house look like or how big it is. Get sick, ain't gonna change everything. You ain't gonna give a fuck about nothing but not dying. I got so sick one time. Put everything into perspective. I had to learn this stuff. W4T, terminate the W4. See, they get you to do stuff and you just do it because you ain't studied nothing. What the fuck did you even do a W4 for? What is it? Somebody, anybody? You look it up real quick. Tell these people. What is a W4? Like, what is a birth certificate? What is a social security card? What do you need it for?
What is a W4?
I don't need it. I don't need none of that shit. My mama and them didn't even have, they didn't give me a fucking chance, bro, to earn without that shit. They just said, let's put her, she might be a little slow or something. Let's put her in there. Because why would you give a healthy baby to the fucking system? That don't even make no sense. I'm well and able. I didn't even look like somebody that might be slow. I ain't look like I had no Down syndrome. I didn't look like I ain't have no problems. Why would they fork me over and say, okay, well, we'll just put her in there because they know no better. They was in the military, and the military be trying to make you put your baby. See, they was in the military. My folks was in the military. How many of y'all in here folks in the military? Because that's how you know about this birth certificate shit. Y'all know everybody ain't got no birth certificate. Y'all do know it's people that look just like me and y'all. It's a whole bunch of people looking at us like we fucking crazy. Yeah. I know majority of y'all got some military in y'all family, and they convince people in your family to get birth certificates. Just like Navy Federal. If you got a family member that's in business, that's in the military, you can get a Navy Federal. And everybody got a Navy Federal, somebody in your family in the military. Ain't no other way. See, y'all don't know how deep this military shit go. That's another problem. Listen. Some of y'all got these houses. Do you know you got the motherfuckers for the military? Let it be a war over here. You gonna have to share your house with them or get the fuck out, because that's their shit, not yours. You got a mortgage. Yeah, y'all gonna find out. Or you had a mortgage and y'all don't have no land patent and all that. Yeah, let it be maritime. They coming straight to y'all house and you gotta let them live there. That's your duty. They won't give me my uncle a birth certificate.
It's a Form W4.
Some more y'all get in here before I get started. But while you waiting, man, go ahead and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Share this. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that little bell so you get a notification when I'm about to drop. When the clouds are the grayest, then the sky's the darkest. When the world is the coldest, then the times is the hardest. Know the Most High is present through the eyes of his artists. Let me paint a picture for you that'll move your heart the farthest from the pain. Feeling drained from the politics and games that never cease. Snow peace, smoke bodies in the streets. Terrorized in our home by our own damn police. Make you think why live if I could die and be at peace. Why starve when in prison niggas eat? No brainer, why face the world alone when I can ride and be a banger? Yeah, America is home, but I feel like a stranger, cause the laws don't protect me, so I'm constantly in danger. I'm never really living if I'm always preparing for the day I gotta fight to survive the wrath that can. Or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
Really,
like, share, and subscribe.
you know, just withstand and just keep taking it, you know? Now to the mothers and the fathers and the brothers and the daughters and extended family members that's in no specific order, listen up. This is it, it's a blitz on the real. If you ain't with the shits, you should split. We don't wave the white flags, we get all up in the mix. We got bricks, we got stones, we got sticks. Words could never hurt them, so they say, but they gon' say whatever to whoever, however, and whenever that it fits. I never call it quits, I call it how I see it in this bitch. I walk it how I talk it, I stand on real shit, and I'm never gon' get off it. I ain't afraid of death, but I still haven't lost it. I move like a boss in my lane, so never cross it. Keep it moving till the enemy exhausted. Depression got me numb like my arteries is frozen. That's the cost of being chosen when your views are agnostic and your guarantee is go.